And welcome back. It's another Dynasty video, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the video. Y'all boys been going crazy on the last two. So the like goal for this video, we'll do 50 likes for the like goal. Now, if you're reading the title of this video, yes, we are going to talk about pipelines, program builder in this video. And hopefully it's like a deep dive to kind of explain what's going on with it, how to make it better, how to best utilize it, and things of that nature. So, you know, make sure you're paying attention because there's a lot going to be going on in this video. I'm going to be saying a lot of things. So just make sure you're paying attention, or like you got some time to watch it, because it is a lot to explain. But I'm going to try to do my best to explain it in the easiest way possible. So first things first, pipelines. Let's go ahead and break that down. So pipelines, for every school get pipelines. Now, the positive about pipelines is some schools have a lot, some schools don't have a lot. The negative is you really can't change the pipelines you have. So every school is just defaulted pipeline. So as you can see, South Carolina has a 5-star pipeline here with South Carolina, obviously. And then they have a 3-star tier with Georgia and North Carolina. And then they have a 2-star tier with, you know, Tennessee and Maryland. And I can just do it the backwards way. There you go. So like Alabama, Florida, I think Tennessee, Texas, Delaware, Maryland, and a bunch of other schools in their tier 2. Tennessee, yeah, so as you see, Florida, Texas, some parts of Texas, things of that nature. So that's pretty much your pipeline. That's pretty much how you're going to get your bread and butter. That's how you're going to get it out the mud. Now, you cannot change your pipelines. Now, you can add on to your pipelines based on if your coach is, let's say if I'm in South Carolina, there's a state that isn't on the pipeline list. If I make that my head coach's state and then added program builder, that state would be added to the pipeline list. And I'll show you that later in the video. So program builder is very big on how to maximize your pipelines, right? Naturally, program builder upgrades tiers. So I'm going to show you how it works. So we're going to leave recruiting real quick and go to program builder. All right, so let's go to the coach abilities. So I don't have program builder because I wanted to show y'all before and after. So before program builder, what does it do? Upgrade your school's best 2 pipeline tiers, upgrade your school's 5 best pipeline tiers, and then upgrade your school's worst 5 pipeline tiers. Now, all of this is random. So unless there's an obvious answer when you're looking at your pipelines, the game will randomly choose which pipelines get boosted or which pipelines they consider the worst. Okay, so the big thing to note with this, okay, so first things first, your best pipeline tiers, they count anything that's not purple already. So for my example, South Carolina is a purple pipeline, so they wouldn't get the first tier boost. Also, the second tier boost would also upgrade the same tiers as upgrading in the first tier. So that's why when you do program builder, your tier 3 and your tier 4 tiers normally go up the most because they're getting double boosted, okay? So invest, making inroads is double boosting your best top 2, top 3, top 5 pipelines. And then share the wealth is just boosting up your 5 worst pipelines. But the great thing about that is that if there's a bunch of states in your tier 2, your tier 1, your tier 3, they just all get boosted. You know, they just all get boosted 1 up and it's perfectly fine. But the reason why it's so great, and we'll go back to recruiting now. The reason why it's so great is because North Carolina and Georgia will get a double boost. So like when you're looking at your stuff and you say, how do I know which schools are going to get double boosted or which pipelines are going to go up? It's easy. So your tier 4, if you don't have a tier 4, would be your best pipeline after tier 5. So because we don't have a tier 4, your best 2 pipelines are Georgia and North Carolina. Then in making inroads is your best 5 pipeline. So obviously, again, Georgia and North Carolina would fill into that as well. The only problem is now, because we have so many schools in tier 2, tier 2 schools may not get the same, and we'll just do this right here. And so as you can see, we have so many different states in our tier 2, we don't really know which one is going to get another boost, right? So what ends up happening is your tier 2s, all of them just go to tier 3, and then Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina will just be your big 3. They'll be your powerhouse pipelines, and then everything else will just be tier 3. Because it's so many states in pipeline tier 2 that they can't tell which ones to boost up twice or to boost up. So that's kind of how it works. If there's too many states, it just kind of just puts everything up one, and then if it's obvious which ones to upgrade, it'll just upgrade. So can be a little confusing, but so as y'all can see, that's the pipeline. So now what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade to Program Builder, and then we're going to advance to the new season. So we're going to upgrade Program Builder, get it up. Yep. So now that we got Program up, now we're going to advance to next season, and then we're going to see what changed in our pipelines. So next season. So basically what I'm trying to show y'all is like what's actually upgrading, and then I did a couple test builds to show you like how you can add a pipeline and how you can actually get the coach boost to kind of work in your favor a little bit. So now that we've done the upgrade, let's see which pipelines got the boost. So we go back to prospect list, we go here, we go to my pipelines, and now let's see who got the boost. So North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, just like I explained, get the boost because they were tier 3 before. Let's see if we got anybody to get to tier 4. Did anybody get boosted to tier 4? It's a lot of Georgia guys here this time around. So we're just gonna scroll. As you can see, it's a lot of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. They are lit in Georgia, North Carolina. So as you can see, we got Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. So that's what the game assumes our best next 3 pipelines are. Okay? So that's what you have to know. So once you do Program Builder, the game is basically telling you Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia are your next best pipelines. So it's pretty much, you can't change it. There's no way to like fix it. This is just how it is. So when you're using Program Builder, now you know, okay, these are the schools that are going to get updated when I do Program Builder, okay? So Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware. So, and that's it. Like they're telling you this. There's nothing you can do to change it. Now, Southeast Georgia and Georgia are 2 different things. So, depending on whatever the case is. So it really doesn't matter where you pick your coach pipeline. It really doesn't really boost anything. Whatever they feel is your best pipelines is your best pipelines. You really can't change anything. You really can't do anything about it. So when you're picking your pipeline for your school, you can pick a random one. You can pick the same one. It really don't matter. Pretty much they're telling you in a default build what will get upgraded. Now, I did make a build where basically I did a off-brand pipeline. So in this build right here, I did Wisconsin as a build. So Wisconsin is my pipeline. So I put Program Builder on there, and we can go to it and see. So this guy is Wisconsin is his pipeline. So and this coach, let's see how the pipelines worked out here. So as you can see, let me go to pipelines before I do this. So as you can see, because I added Wisconsin, it upgraded it as a tier because it was part of my coach. So you can get states added to your pipeline. It's just you can't get states improved based off the boost. So if we look here, let's go down again. So as you can see, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina again. So let's see which ones were our 4 this time. Again, a lot of Georgia, North Carolina, and this is why Program Builder is so good, because you can just stay in your region and recruit. So on this example, we didn't get a tier 4 upgrade, and that's because we picked a state outside of our realm, okay? So you remember on the first coach build, we had Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware get upgraded to tier 4. But in this example, because we picked Wisconsin, it upgraded and gave us Wisconsin as a pipeline instead of giving us tier 4s as a pipeline, if you notice that. So we got Wisconsin, but now we don't get tier 4s, okay? So the big thing about this is showing that if you do pick something random or outside of the realm of your school pipelines, it'll get upgraded, but you may sacrifice tier 4s or even tier 3s upgrading in your pipeline because the game is going to boost up something that your coach has. So because I picked Wisconsin, now Wisconsin got upgraded as a pipeline, but now I lost my tier 4s. So now I don't have any tier 4s on this build. because I had Wisconsin as my region, as my pipeline. So what this showed me is basically you need to make sure before you pick that dynasty team, you know which regions you're in, because if you pick something outside of the region, Program Builder is going to upgrade whatever you pick, but you may sacrifice and not get that tier 4 pipeline or that tier 3 pipeline upgraded because you pick something random. Okay, so when you go in your dynasty modes, make sure you're picking stuff that's already in the pipeline of that school, because when you do the upgrade, it'll actually give you more pipeline boosts than when you pick something outside of the range of that school. So, you know, of course, if you already made your coach or you're already in your dynasty, it kind of is what it is. But if you're making an offline dynasty or something like that, go in there and just look at the pipelines. See what you already have so you can pick something within those pipelines. Now, I know what you're wondering. What happens if you make everybody in your coaching staff the same thing? So I actually did that as well. So in the last experiment, I did everybody had Tennessee as their region, because I wanted to see if I could get Tennessee from a lower tier to an upper tier based on just based on the fact that all my coaches have Tennessee as a region. So when I did Program Builder again, this is the results. So as you can see, let's go to my pipelines. So because we stayed in state, nothing went to nothing else, of course. But when you go right here, same thing. We got North Carolina, Georgia, and South Carolina, our big three as always. And let's see what happens now. So what you're going to see is that we got our tier 4s back, but it had nothing to do with Tennessee. So as you can see, we got Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware again. So basically what this tells you is that it's broken. The pipeline system is broken, and the way the coach boosts everything is broken. Basically, to get the most bang for your buck and you're using Program Builder, you need to just pick a pipeline that's already associated with your school. If you pick outside your school pipeline, you're going to mess up how they upgrade it when you use Program Builder, okay? So keep this in mind when you're doing it. So if you're using Program Builder, make sure you pick something that's already in Program Builder. Now, as you've seen on that first build, you can do a dummy dynasty to see when you use Program Builder with your regular coaches what they consider tier 4, tier 5. Now, I haven't tested to see if I pick Virginia as a state, could I get Virginia from tier 4 to tier 5 or Maryland from tier 4 to tier 5? That's something I'll have to test as well. But moral of the story, if you're going to use Program Builder to get the best out of Program Builder, make sure you're picking the state or region that the team has already built in. Because if you don't, you're not going to get the appropriate upgrades. If you pick something outside of the normal pipelines, what's going to happen is it's going to upgrade the random states, but you may not get those tier 4 pipelines. And that's what you want. You want to make sure you're maxing it out. So after doing this experiment, is Program Builder is still really good. It's still really great. As far as how the coaches affected, long as you got coaches in the region or your coaches in the region, you're going to get the same kind of upgrade regardless. So it really tell you that pipelines really don't matter. Just pick whatever pipeline is within your school's realm. But the game, if you did a dummy dynasty, the game will tell you pretty much with all default coaches what your best pipelines are. So maybe if I did Virginia or Maryland, I could see, okay, let's see if I could get a tier 4 to a tier 5. Now that I know Maryland is my next best, pipeline. So I'll definitely try that for y'all as well. But I just want to kind of just show y'all how pipelines work, how Program Builder works for every build. So moral of the story, if you're using Program Builder, just stick within your region. Don't get cute. Because if you pick something outside your region, the game is going to fluctuate and you may not get your tier 4s and your tier 5s. Also remember, when you're upgrading, your tier 5s are guaranteed. They don't change, they don't go up, they don't go down. So don't pick any tier 5 pipeline. So if you have Texas and Texas has Southwest and Northwest Texas, then don't pick that as your pipeline. Pick a tier 4 or tier 3 school on your pipeline so that you know which ones will upgrade, okay? So I'm going to do another experiment to see if I can get Maryland or Virginia to actually get to tier 5 based on us knowing, because like I said, now that you know it, now I can go in and actually see, okay, can we get these to tier 5? That would be the next experiment, because now we know tier 4 is Maryland, Virginia. Now I go back in and I can see, all right, can I get one of those schools to go to tier 5? Now, if you can, then that means like there's a more significant coach boost. But if you can't, then that just means really the coach boost or however it works is kind of broken, and it just kind of is what it is. So no matter how many years you advance, your pipelines are always going to stay the same. Like I said, unless you do Program Builder with an outside pipeline. But other than that, man, that's the video. Like I said, short, simple, and sweet. So just make sure you use these tips. Stay within your pipeline range. Make sure if you're using Program Builder, you understand which pipelines are your top tier already. So you kind of already know what you're getting. And that's pretty much it, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the video. And like I said, I have another test with the Virginia and Maryland one as well. But we can see, because like I said, I am curious as well, so we can see. But it's your boy Zay to go, and I'm out.